Cheers, mate.
No worries. Is this him, eh? So we're eating some of this tonight.
Yeah, just cooking up the back strap and the ribs.
What? See that? What's that? Is that on all of them?
No, this is just velvet, so we got this coming out of...
Yep, coming.
This story was 14 months in the making, proving that hard work, determination, and persistence can help create history.
We're on to deer early this morning. We've come out to a spring behind camp and got up on for some elevation. Just with all this rain they've had in the last couple of weeks, the grass is ridiculously high and we've spotted 2 stag. The wind's a bit iffy, but we're going to do a big arc and try and come in and hopefully keep tabs on them because, like I said, we can only see their antlers in the grass. We've managed to cross that big open flat behind me undetected. We're just going to edge in on this game trail. We've got a fair bit of cover from this tea tree in front of us and close the gap a little bit and have another look. He's bedded in the open. And there's the only one line of tree that I could get to get in on him. There's another stag bedded in there. Makes things difficult. Sadly, how it normally goes rather than getting success. Made it to the last cover alright and was going to initially stay behind the bush, but I was worried there was going to be limited shooting options when he did stand up, so I took the risk while he was sleeping and had good cover, blocking that little stag as well when he was bedded. And the wind's been great the whole stalk, and yeah, I thought I could get down in front and just kneel down. As you'll see, got into a metre pretty much of where I wanted to kneel down, and he's obviously caught movement and taken off. There's a reason why big stags like that get big, so pretty disappointing, but we'll keep on moving through this tea tree and hopefully get another opportunity this morning.
No one could have guessed the story that would unfold after this encounter. Identifying him as one of the best stags we'd ever seen set into motion countless trips. Any free time was dedicated to searching for him. We found a lot of other stags, but knowing a stag of that calibre was out there made it very hard not to compare. It almost seemed like cheating, as if I was taking the easy way out. Every trip we monitored the hinds, hoping that he'd come back and rut again before setting off and casting his antlers. As the dry season arrived, the sun cooked the earth, making feed scarce. We thought this would help concentrate the deer and may aid us in locating him. We found numerous bachelor mobs, but we never found him. It had gotten to the point that over the sequential trips, we'd named most of the stags in the area, but still he eluded us. With the break of the wet season, it brought new life to the country and new hope to finding our stag. Parched, lifeless flats soaked up the rain and gave way to fluorescent green growth. The new growth meant more rutting activity, drawing new stags in from afar, but there was still no sign of him. I continued my search, targeting areas where I knew stags went to grow out their velvet. We found dozens of stags, but still we couldn't find him. After endless miles and 10 months of searching, my hopes of finding him had all but dwindled. For all I knew, he'd already died, shot by another hunter, likely succumbed to disease, starvation or predation, but all I knew was I had to try. With the vast blanket of fresh growth, I pushed out further, following creeks and springs into new country, going to places I'd never seen deer sign before, let alone an actual Chital deer. It was on one of these expeditions that I found a bachelor mob of stags, and I couldn't believe my eyes when there he was at the centre of it. After searching for so long, I couldn't believe I'd actually found him. We tailed the mob, knowing soon they would bed down and present us with an opportunity. Sitting around the fire that night, I had very mixed emotions. It was devastating that he jumped the string, though I was also relieved that I hadn't injured him. After such a long journey, it was just comforting knowing he was still alive. At least now I had a timeline and knew soon enough he'd be back rutting again with the hinds.
We're just scanning our way through these basalt flats. We know that the hinds love to congregate here and bed up under this black tea tree, and therefore this is sort of where they come to rut. We've had a heap of velvets on this property and hoping that over the last couple of weeks they've all rubbed out and there should be a fair bit of rutting activity at the moment. We've already heard a couple of calls this morning, so it's sounding pretty promising, but we'll just keep moving slowly, just keep glassing and hopefully be able to find some deer.
There is a stag absolutely destroying a bush out there. It's like a pretty good stag. We might just move in a bit closer. This black tea tree makes it pretty hard to see through.
I've had a better look at the stag.
and turns out there's actually two there. One's a smaller one, stripping velvet, and the other one's actually the stag we're hoping to find. But he's still a couple hundred metres away. He's chasing a doe around, so she must be coming into season. But what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly take the packs off, take the boots off, and we'll move in because it's pretty crunchy through all this black tea tree at the moment. We're just 70 metres off those deer. We've been following through this black tea tree. There's a lot of cover, but I thought we were going to get busted. We just had a wallaby about 30 metres in front of us, but it went off nicely, which was a bit of a relief. But that stag's just bedded down. And the hinds just seem to be milling around. That other stag's pretty occupied, just rubbing that tree. So I'm just going to quickly slip in because I've got a fair bit of cover and I don't know how long they're going to be bedded there and stay there for. Well, I still can't believe what just happened. I can't believe it. I've had such a long history with this stag. We literally came out this weekend looking for him. Yeah, we knew we'd come back to the girls eventually, and yeah, this morning we found him, and to be able to stalk in, got 20 metres off embedded, and then he got up and was able to shoot him at 25 metres, and he literally dropped on the spot. I can't believe it. I'm just in shock. Like, yeah, he's such a beautiful animal, really good length, really heavy, and one I can't believe I've actually been able to take. So yeah, we'll go and have a look at him. As bow hunters, it's pretty rare that you make a plan, you follow it through to success. Being straight out of velvet, it's going to be incredible table fare. We're going to take all this meat and yeah, share it with family and friends for a long time to come. But I've had a lot of memories with this stag and a hunt that I remember for a lifetime. Well, we've just got all the meat off that stag. What you wouldn't have seen is the perks of hunting up in North Queensland during the summertime is there's plenty of summer storms that roll through. You're absolutely drenched, but the temperature's also dropped about 20 degrees, which is pretty nice. Just gotta load this up and then pack all this meat out. A pretty decent walk back to camp, but that's the rewards of hunting. The hardest part. The rewards at the end. Well, we got a couple of K back to camp, so we'll get a move on. Can get pretty wet too by the looks of it.